cars are ready, the drivers are ready. We hope you're ready as qualifying is about to begin here in Bahrain. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my rebooted F1 2017 career mode. This is now the third race. We're at Bahrain. It is the Bahrain Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last one, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. It's a very overcast Bahrain circuit here, but it's time for qualifying. And I do feel like this is going to be one where we particularly struggle at, as I missed that apex there. There's a lot of straights here, which is really going to be hurting the car. So I feel like it's going to be a case of, look, just do whatever we can and limit the damage here. I'm not feeling confident going into this race weekend. And, well, let's see what this lap is. It's good enough for P10, but we're dropped to P17. So we are going to have to go again if we want out of Q1 and we want to make it into Q2, which is what we're trying to do. The checkered flag has gone out now and we are making up time, but little mistakes like that are going to cost us in the grand scheme of things. I'm really pushing the car, guys, and look at that, we're only a few tenths up going into the final corner, but I'm hoping it's going to be enough. We've clipped that very nicely and now it's just a case of down the straight. Hope that's going to be enough. Is it enough? No, it's P17. So I knew we were going to struggle here because the straight line speed on the car is where it is lacking, and we've got a couple of longer straights on this circuit that are going to hurt us. Fernando Alonso managed P11 though, so fair play to him. We just couldn't hook it up, and I think we made a couple of little mistakes as well, which ultimately cost us as well. But even if we got into Q2, I don't think we'd have got any higher than maybe 13th or 14th. I think it's going to be a tough race ahead, but let's see what we can grab. Ultimately, I think we're going to try a bit of a risky strategy and just see how that works for us.
The curtain rises once more then on the desert stage of Sakir as the players take their places for the opening act. Will they enthrall us like they did in 2014 with that titanic battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton? Well, we'll find out shortly as we get underway here in Bahrain. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today, with 15 corners and 2 DRS zones into turns 1 and turn 11. That should create some good passing opportunities. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Bahrain has showed us many times in the past though, Anthony Davidson, that a good strategy will only take you so far. Beyond that, you need good racecraft and you need good consistency.
And a little bit of luck too, I'd say. This is one of those circuits where the safety car always seems to come out just at the right time to condense the field together and mix up the cars on different strategies. It's hard on brakes, it's tough on fuel, and the main overtaking opportunity is down into turn 1, where it's easy to outbrake your opponent and potentially have a bit of argy-bargy as well.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Grosjean, Ocon, Perez, Kvyat and Kevin Magnussen, Bottas, Sainz, Fernando Alonso and Stroll, Hülkenberg and a McLaren, Jolyon Palmer and Marcus Ericsson, Wehrlein and Felipe Massa completes the grid.
We got 5 red lights, we got 29 laps, we're going long on the medium tyre. It is lights out and away we go, and we've got a bit of a slow start there. Palmer has got past us, Ericsson is now going through, as is Massa, and we're just going to take a very tight inside line into one and just see how that works out for us. Nope, we have been a bit swamped. The 2 Force Indias are looking very close here. And in fact, they're going to touch, and round goes one of the Force Indias. I think that's Esteban Ocon that's gone round. He's blocking the track. And that just lets me, look at me here, just sneak through and get past half of them. But of course, the virtual safety car is called. I'm amazed that wasn't a full safety car, because the track was obstructed by Ocon going round. It's a collision for the 2 Force India cars. And we're up from P17 to P8 in one corner. Well, we started P16 because of penalties, went down to like P19, and then just snuck through into P8. But at the end of lap 1, Sebastian Vettel is your race leader. We're in P8, we got Romain Grosjean trying to have a go down the inside. I have got hard tyres, so it's going to be quite hard to defend. And we've now got Carlos Sainz on the left. I'm going to try and brake in the middle of them and hope that none of us collide. And we just make that through without a collision. We went 3 wide into 1 there. How did that not end in tears? I do not know. But we're trying to keep up with Daniel Kvyat, and it's just not happening at this stage at this Bahrain Grand Prix. And look, this is Valtteri Bottas now trying to get past. He's in P9. The driver that's dominated the first 2 races, and he finds himself at an end of the field he doesn't expect to be. He's trying to have a look down the inside, but once again we keep the outside line and we just stay ahead. And in fact, we're going to shuffle him out just a little bit, but he's going to have great momentum heading into the next corner. But I think we've just about got him covered for the time being. However, next time around, Bottas is coming back at us. The sun beginning to set here. Bottas getting ever closer. We've got a yellow flag ahead. And again, Sebastian Vettel for the 2nd time in a row out of the race. His championship campaign getting off to an awful start here. And yet, Valtteri Bottas still not able to make his way past me. And I'm developing something of a queue behind me now, as Carlos Sainz is going to have a go down the inside of the left-hander. And Sainz is through before we even get to the corner. Can I brake a bit later than him and get past? Answer no. Sainz cutting that off, and we've now got Valtteri Bottas back behind us again. So he's lost out in the shuffling. And Bottas having something of a nightmare of a race. First trying to get past us, and now Sainz getting past him, and Grosjean's gone past him as well. We've made the same error into that corner though, 2 laps in a row, and Grosjean has found a way through. And now Bottas, is he finally passed? We're going wheel to wheel round the left-hander. Bottas still there. We're still wheel to wheel as we head to the right-hander. But this time, no, Bottas just tags us there. Well, we tag Bottas, should I say, his rear wheel. And he has to go wide. And I can imagine the frustration behind that helmet really beginning to reach boiling point, as he has a go down the inside here. And I'm going to try and set him up for a bit of an up and under or an overtake down the straight. But I just don't think that's going to happen, because look at the straight line speed he has in that Mercedes over what we have in this McLaren. It's basically non-existent. I would like to try and send it, and we do send it down the inside of Bottas. And Magnussen now gets through. I feel so sorry for young Valtteri, because he's really, really losing out here. And the first round of pit stops are now beginning on lap 8, and we've come out just in front of Sergio Perez. And we're going to go round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. Hold the line. Oh, we're not going to get through Ricciardo, because Ricciardo's holding his own here. But we might be able to have a little bit of a cheeky dive into 4. Down the inside we go. Is it one that's worked? Yes. Ricciardo losing out there. We move up to P5, which is great and all, but we still have to stop. And Carlos Sainz is going to be rubbing his hands together in P4. But look at this. This is Lewis Hamilton now coming past us. And Hamilton does get the move done. Unseen by us, when Hamilton passed Ricciardo, Ricciardo clipped Hamilton and damaged his front wing, I think. So, unseen by us, that was something that happened. And I don't know where Ricciardo is now. But anyway, Hamilton now up into P5, which he's gonna be long gone, because Hamilton, we ain't fighting him off. We're now pitting in at the end of lap 17 after a very long stint on the hards. We're now on the mediums with just 12 laps left to go, and actually it's not worked out too badly for us, because so many of these are 2 stopping, whereas we've gone for the 1 stopper. And actually, this is working out okay, because we're P13, only just ahead of Verline, but still in a good spot. And I think if we can get some good pace going, albeit with some slightly worn components, there might be a chance for a few points. But we shall see how this plays out. Lap 19, we're trying to catch Carlos Sainz on hard tyres. And I believe he's battling with, I can't actually see who he's battling with, and taking that line isn't going to help, but we're trying to catch up with Carlos Sainz and giving it everything in doing so. Raikkonen still setting fastest laps of the race. He has been untouchable throughout this Grand Prix, and now we've caught up with Carlos Sainz, and I can tell you he's battling with a very slow Max Verstappen. So Verstappen, I think, must have some kind of issue with his car, because Verstappen not going very quickly at all. But I tell you who is, us. We're going to take a dive up the inside of Sainz, and we're going to keep this going and go up the inside of Max Verstappen. 2 Red Bull cars, 1 corner. Thank you very much. I am going to take off and go up into P8. Grosjean in 7th ahead, and I'm hoping Verstappen can keep back the likes of Sainz and co. This has been quite a positive race. I was really worried going into this one, because through practice and in qualifying we were struggling, but in the race itself we're going alright. Unfortunately at this stage though, it's going to be difficult to defend. First up we have Carlos Sainz, who is coming at me, and he's going to try and go down the inside of 1. We're trying to defend, but look at that, he's blast past. Is it going to be a case of go to the outside or try and make a late switch to the inside? We're going to go to the outside. I nearly outbrake myself there, but Sainz having to back out. He's still just about there. No, Sainz has backed out of that one, and we move back into P8, and Sainz again thinking of a look, thinking of it, but just not quite being able to translate it into an overtaking opportunity. Raikkonen again, a fastest lap. The pace he's got is just extraordinary as we go deep, and that's Nico Hülkenberg now right behind me, and Sainz has got a car issue from what I heard on the radio, and through goes Hülkenberg up into P8. So that's going to be some good points for him. We've got Verstappen right behind us in P9, and I'm hoping we can keep back that Red Bull. It's a shame that Sainz ended up having the issue he's had, because he was looking very strong in this Grand Prix. We have just a few laps left of it now, and Hülkenberg running P8, we're running P9, and if we can hold on to that, that means 2 World Championship points. But we do have to hold off a very hard charging Max Verstappen, who's got Jolyon Palmer right behind him. I've gone to make my defensive move. Verstappen not so sure where he's going. He's now decided to go for a late commitment to the inside, but again we're in the middle of the sandwich. We brake later and then leave them to battle it out amongst themselves. Palmer has actually moved into the final point scoring position, so that would be a good result for Jolyon Palmer if he can hold on. But now we're coming down the straight at the beginning of lap 29. Palmer's having to go at me, I'm blocking him off. Verstappen is surely going to try and take the left, but Palmer's gone for the inside. It's not going to work for him as I force him in tight, and Palmer not able to hold the position. And look at Fernando Alonso, who has just pounced on the pair of them. Fernando Alonso has pounced on both Jolyon Palmer and Max Verstappen. He's going to go round the outside of Verstappen here, I think. And Fernando Alonso moving into P10. Now at this stage, I'm thinking, let's play the team game and guarantee Fernando some points because he's looking pretty good for P10, but I want to make sure that Verstappen doesn't get past him. I know that we can cover Verstappen, so the plan there was get Alonso past, get us DRS down this straight, and then Verstappen won't come through, and we're guaranteeing the maximum points we could take as a team. So in a race I was quite worried about, it's now looking like we're going to grab a double points finish. Alonso in P9, us in P10. I do not mind giving that one up one bit. Like I said, I think if we'd have just left it to the straights and we'd have just stayed ahead, Verstappen surely would have got him. So my thinking there was play the team game, get a couple of points for Alonso, get a point for myself, and bring back the most team points that we could. Kimi Raikkonen is your race winner here, but for us, it's going to be P10. Can we hold on with Verstappen trying to get it? Yes, we do. It's a nice few points for the team. I'm happy with that. I did not expect to take a single point from this race, so I will take P10 all day long.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good
Kimi Raikkonen wins the Bahrain Grand Prix with Hamilton second, Ricciardo third, Perez fourth, a difficult day for Bottas in fifth, Grosjean gets sixth, Kvyat gets seventh, and then it's Hulkenberg, Alonso and myself 8th, 9th, 10th. So a decent result, but looking at how far off we are from the main pace. I mean, yes, this was a circuit we were going to struggle at anyway, but it's discouraging when you see just how far off you are and realise just how much work there is to do on the car. We're not in the place we want to be. We've got a lot of work before we even can think about getting there, but it'll come. Right, championship. The gap has come down at the front, but not by as much as you think it would. And look at Sebastian Vettel down in 11th. It has been a sorry start to the year for him. But Bottas still holding on to the lead, while Ferrari are starting to recover after what was a bit of a slow start to this season. Although Vettel, he's going to be hoping for better because 3 races, 11 points. That isn't how he would have been hoping to go into this. We're currently sat in 12th on 9 points, so still encouraged by the start we've had, but now it's time to really knuckle down and get working on this car. Right, thank you so much for watching this installment of 2017 Rebooted Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like, hit the sub button if you're new and you want to see more content from me. And until the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care, and please enjoy the rest of your day.